Hi, so here, viewers of Equinoxe Television. It's time for the news. We thank you so much for joining us. We begin right away with our major stories. There has been some questions on some conspicuous absence of some members of parliament during the last budgetary session, and Cameroonians have been questioning or asking questions if it is not obligatory for members of parliament to be present during parliamentary sessions. And also in this newscast, we tell you that heaps of debt filtered or littered across the city of Douala is making the town more and more uncomfortable to the city dwellers. Stay with us for details and more. Welcome back, viewers. We begin right away in sports. There has been some controversy over the absence of goalkeeper Andre Onana in the Lions then during the last encounter against Serbia. To be more precise, as at now it is still unclear what is happening between Andre Onana and the national team, as communication between the Cameroon Football Federation, Fecafoot, and John Lees is not very fluid. And after his absence during the last encounter, Andre Onana today sent out a communique, and it reads, "I want to express my affection for my country and the national team. Yesterday I was not allowed to be on the ground to help Cameroon, as I always do, to achieve the team's goals. I always behaved in a way to lead the team to success in a good manner. I have put all my efforts and energy into finding solutions to a situation that a footballer always experiences, but there has been no will on the other side. Some moments are difficult to assimilate. However, I always respect and support the decisions of the people in charge of pursuing the success of our team and our country. I express all my strength to my teammates because we demonstrated that we are capable of going very far in this competition. The values that I promote as a person and as a player are the ones that identify me and that my family has given me since my childhood days. Representing Cameroon has always been a privilege, and the nation first and forever. Thank you, Andre Onana." That is the side of Andre Onana after the communique, which was also sent out by the Cameroon Football Federation, indicating that Andre Onana was put out of the match against Serbia for indiscipline. We will surely be coming back to that with our special envoys to Qatar in our subsequent news editions. And now we stay in sports. We now talk about Abubakar Vincent, who is set to be very cherished by Cameroonian football lovers, especially after his last spectacular performance and also goal against the Serbian national side. And now a reporter Innocent as a profiles the Abubakar Vincent, who is a very wonderful talent in the Cameroonian football team. Let's now have his report.
One will not bother to question why Cameroonians, fans and supporters of the indomitable Lions of Cameroon rebaptized Abubakar Vincent as Abu Shu, Abu Bey and so on. They see the current 10-shirt striker as a goal-scoring machine, savior of the national football team. Whenever the Lions are in difficulties to roar, they are still in control of the jungle. During the final of the 2017 AFCON in Gabon, Mohamed El Neni of Egypt scored to put Egypt ahead in the first half, but Nicolas Nkulu leveled for Cameroon. The antidote, Vincent Abubakar, who barely 2 minutes to the end of the regular play time gave a winner for Cameroon with a brilliant flick and volley, a winner for the ages. It was during the 2021 AFCON in Cameroon that Vincent's name was polished from Abubakar to Abu Bey, Abu Shu by all the beautiful Cameroonian ladies. The indomitable Lions captain scored twice to give Cameroon a 2-1 victory over Burkina Faso in the opening match of the Total Energies AFCON Cameroon 2021. Cameroon came from a goal down to urge the resilient Stallions at the Olembe Stadium. Both teams again clashed for the third position of the AFCON 2021. Burkina Faso took a 3-0 lead over Cameroon, bearing hopes of a possible comeback. The Lions mounted a remarkable comeback. Stefan Baukeng looked to have scored nothing than a consolation with 20 minutes left. The miracle boy Vincent Aboubakar, sent into the pitch, pulled another goal for Cameroon. The Cameroonian skipper then knocked home a dramatic equalizer with 2 minutes to go. With no extra time, the match went straight to penalties, which gave Cameroon a 5-3 win to be crowned third-place winners. Vincent proved to be Abu Shushu during their second Group G game against Serbia in the ongoing Qatar World Cup. Though being a decisive encounter, the Lions were being led 3-1 by Serbia. Brought in the second half, Aboubakar scored an outrageous scoop chip and assisted Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting to level score 3-3, earning Cameroon a point, maintaining them in the competition until they take on Brazil in their last, decisive and must-win match to move to the knockout stage. Aboubakar, according to fans of the Lions, greatly contributed to prevent Cameroon from being the first African representative to be eliminated from the Qatar FIFA World Cup 2022.
And the maiden edition of the FIFA Fans Cup began today in Corniche, Qatar. The competition involves fan clubs of all the 32 nations representing their countries in Qatar. Let's now have more with a special envoy to Qatar, Smart Njikan Gabriel.
It is at the field of the Fan Festival in Corniche that fans of all 32 qualified teams for the World Cup have started a competition dubbed Fans Cup. The event that has brought together all fans from the 32 qualified teams began with an official opening ceremony chaired by 3 ambassadors of the Qatar FIFA World Cup: Xavi Hernandez of Spain, Cafu of Brazil, and Samuel Eto'o of Cameroon. Amongst the several supporters who are participating at the FIFA's Fan Cup is Cameroon. The Cameroonian fans club team captain say they are preparing to lift the trophy.
We have to do our best to put on the top our flag, who is green, red and yellow with a star. That is a Cameroon. Then this tournament is a historic. We thought that in Africa we are the first, we are the best. Then we have to show to over the world, that to the world that we can continue to do like our lion. We are a lion. There is not small lion. Lion is lion. Then we have to do our best. We have to take this cup and bring it home.
Cameroon is expected to play its first 3 matches of the competition on Thursday, December 1, 2022. The Fans Cup is played for 8 minutes, 4 minutes per half. During match day 1 of the Fans Cup, Qatar surprisingly trashed Ecuador by 6-0, while England defeated Iran 2-1.
I think it's important for obviously football's for the fans as well as the players. So as us representing England, after we're going to go and watch the game, but for us as well, it gives us a bit of enjoyment as part of the tournament. I think it's massive, obviously representing your country, so it's just as big as the main thing for us.
Obviously you want to win, but ultimately it is a bit of fun. You're meeting everyone, and yeah, it was brilliant, wasn't it? Good to get the first win.
You think you can grab the Fans Cup?
Yeah, of course we can. With this man, anything's possible.
Scored 2 today, star player.
Golden boot as well.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. At the England.
The Fans Cup is happening for the first time in the history of FIFA World Cup, and all fans jersey are provided by host nation Qatar. The Fans Cup will have 2 matches played simultaneously, with a country to play 3 matches per day. The winner of the Fans Cup will be known on December 2, 2022, when the finals will be played.
And the Ghanaian national team have great chances in the football jamboree in Qatar after defeating lastly in their last encounter the South Korean national side by 3-2. And Smart Njikan Gabriel, you tell us that they are now very ready to confront Uruguay.
You're welcome to the Education City Stadium here in Doha, Qatar, where the Black Stars of Ghana have just defeated their South Korean opponents in a very, very enthralling and thrilling encounter that was played here. Ghana was 2 goals up before the South Koreans came from a goal down and later equalized the game. But at the end of the day, it was Ghana that is going home with all 3 points of the day. The match ended 3 goals to 2, and the Ghanaian fans who all turned out here at the Education City Stadium, they say it's going to be a great time for them, and they are coming back fully into the competition.
Great, amazing. This is the best. Never saw a game like this before. Just from end to end, amazing. Ghana number one.
Does the win give you people courage of sailing through to the next phase?
Of course it does, because Uruguay is our old partners. It's like our ex-wife. Okay. So we're gonna take care of them. Definitely. You take care of your ex-wife, right? Okay. That's why we're gonna take care of them just like our ex-wife. Uruguay. All right, good luck to Cameroon. Cameroon, baby. Cameroon number 1.
How do you feel about the win?
Great. Elated, man. I'm excited. I feel like I'm in heaven right now, man. That's a sweet victory. I was looking forward to this, and we had it. And we're looking forward to Uruguay match. That's the tip of the iceberg. We're gonna break it because it's a revenge match against Uruguay. Remember what happened? Yes. Remember what happened? Yes. So we're gonna pay them with a revenge right now.
Yes,
so we're ready. That's all we're saying. We're ready. Thank you very much.
All the best, Cameroon. It should be recalled that Ghana missed out at the semi-finals of the 2010 World Cup that was hosted by South Africa, and that was due to Luis Suarez that forced a handball, but the penalty did not actually come out in favor of Ghana as Hassan Mwajian missed that penalty shootout. The Ghanaian fans say the last match that will be against Uruguay will be a revenge game, and that they came to Qatar because they wanted to revenge what Luis Suarez did to them in 2010 when an African nation hosted the World Cup.
Be careful and watch out on Friday. What you did to us 12 years ago, they are going to show you what you did to us in South Africa. 12 years ago, we came here because of you. It's going to be Banta Banta. It's going to be Banta Banta. We go Banta.
Ghana with 3 points still have the opportunity of crossing to the next phase of the competition. That will be a win over Uruguay on the last playing day. At the Education City Stadium here in Doha, Qatar, for Equinoxe Television News, Raphael Dipanda, Smart Njikan Gabriel on special assignment.
Thank you, Smart, for that report, and courage to you guys in Qatar. Just to remind our viewers that the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon will be having a very decisive encounter with the Brazilian national side. That would be on Friday, December 2. And now, away from sport, inhabitants of the city of Douala are complaining that heaps of dirt littered across the city is making life very unbearable for them. Our reporter Lucille Yengwe made a stop over at some neighborhoods here in Douala. This is what she saw and heard.
Indiscriminate disposal of untreated waste in the city of Douala, economic capital of Cameroon, is becoming a serious problem and a call for concern. According to the inhabitants of Ngodi, Douala 1 subdivision, the dirty, polluted, foul smell that generates from garbage around them is negatively affecting their health. She says they have been living in this condition for 6 years and blames the population who, to her, are not respecting the hygiene and sanitation measures put in place by the hygiene and sanitation company, Hizakam. She adds that the condition has made them sick with the presence of flies and mosquitoes.
When it comes to health and the smell over there, it has a very strong smell. Sometimes we around here, we don't even live in peace. Yeah, we always have this problem that we at least sometimes we visit my shop and the neighbors around here, and we have to relocate to somewhere else to at least to take fresh air.
While others put the blame on the absence of trash cans around them.
Sometimes we have a problem with Zakam. Sometimes they come and sometimes they take a lot of time before coming. We have been pleading a lot for the Zakan people to always take precaution on that particular area, because that particular area is a movement place.
This situation, according to some road users, is not just affecting those living around, but the circulation of cars.
Terribly affecting the little children who always pass here and go to school. Sometimes it even causes a lot of embouteillage because cars are not able to pass. Seems the deaths are so much there.
A similar situation in Besenge, with garbage piles almost occupying part of the road, causing traffic and making it difficult for those selling. It is felt by the population that the authorities of Douala find it difficult to manage the city's garbage. To this effect, they call on the powers concerned to look into the situation.
In education, the newly installed principal of the government's technical high school in Nangai Boko, we are in the central region of the country, has been called upon to combat indiscipline in that educational institution. That school is said to be without windows and ceilings, as Immaculate Fogwe tells us in the report which comes up next.
Broken windows, insufficient benches, dilapidated ceilings and walls. This is the state of Government Technical School Nangai Boko in the central region of Cameroon. During the rainy season, students get soaked while receiving lectures, which in turn affects the learning process. The absence of potable water in the school premises and limited teachers are some other challenges the students are faced with. We lack teachers in the school. Some teachers who were posted here disappear in less than 3 months. They complain that the school is found in the hinterland and that they prefer teaching in urban areas. According to the teachers, containing juvenile delinquency in the school is hampered by the absence of a school gate. Some students tend to leave the school campus at will. This is because there is no school gate which can prevent them. We can't easily control all the students as we ought to. In the course of a transfer ceremony between the incoming and outgoing principal, it was agreed that the above-mentioned challenges will be addressed in order to guarantee the growth of the institution. I cannot carry out all the work without your support. I promise to put in my best for the well-being of the institution. The students and parents say they are hoping that the coming of the new principal will entail rapid development for the institution.
And now there has been some controversy over the conspicuous absence of some members of parliament during the last budgetary session. Isn't it obligatory for members of parliament to be present during parliamentary sessions? Let's now have the obligation and concern is analyzed in this report for me and from Sander.
Curiosity emanated from social media images of a Cameroonian member of parliament parading in Doha, Qatar, while the November session of parliament is ongoing. An image which observers say is a microcosm of a disturbing reality at both the Senate and the National Assembly. The November session of Parliament, above all, is a session meant to scrutinize and adopt the state budget for the new year. Critics say an absentee member of Parliament is an MP who cares less about the interests of his constituency in the state budget.
I was going through social media today and I saw the picture of one of our boisterous lady parliamentarians, and she is in Qatar enjoying football. You know, she leaves the important thing that she ought to be doing for the people and is running after football. So you see, if everybody went for football, then there will be no parliament. So we don't have a sense of responsibility and we don't know what is important, and that's very, very worrying.
Given this responsibility of a member of parliament, Dr. Nick Gwanyam says an MP who cannot see through the ordinary sessions for his people should as well resign.
It's a responsibility for all members of parliament to interact with their communities, pick up their problems, interact with the government bench and interact with themselves in parliament to be able to look for solutions and explain things to people. Being in parliament is to do real work, and therefore all parliamentarians must be in parliament. It doesn't matter in season or off season, that is their duty and they ought to be there. And if someone thinks that they cannot be there, then they better not be parliamentarians. And I think these are some of the things we should start thrashing out.
Comprising 180 members, Cameroon's National Assembly has 3 sittings, notably the statutory, the ordinary and extraordinary sessions. It holds 3 ordinary sessions in a year, notably the March, the June and November sessions, lasting not more than 30 days per session.
And now we come back to the sad incident in Damas in Yaoundé. The civil society in Cameroon has blamed the government and also the local population for being affected by tragedies of landslides in some parts of the country. The civil society actors say the government has the responsibility of evacuating its citizens from every risk zone. Let's now have more with Immaculate Fogui.
Following the Damas landslide incident, where 14 lives were lost, civil society actors say the government is to be accorded the greatest share of the blame. According to the actors, the government has paved a way for laissez-faire, reason for the recurrence of such tragic sins. This comes barely 3 years for the Ngwashi landslide that killed over 50 people.
Malheureusement, Ngwashi ne nous a pas suffisamment parlé.
Unfortunately, the government did not learn a lesson from the Ngwashi landslide. It is the responsibility of the government to sensitize the population about the risk involved and later show them another site where they can settle.
Est-ce qu'elle existe réellement? Si elle existe, comment elle bosse, comment elle travaille, comment elle...
Another problem raised is a growing shortage of low-cost houses, which is making it extremely difficult for low-income earners to find affordable houses anywhere, let alone in risk-free areas.
Du fait d'une absence d'infrastructure,
houses are so expensive. More than half of the population are low-income earners. So, where do they expect them to get money from? They now tend to settle in these risky zones where plots and houses are cheap. He equally blames the population for deciding to live in such an area despite the risk involved. He says many of those living in such areas built their houses without getting building permits. Workers so they can freely build their houses there. That is very wrong. How can you see danger and you decide to stay on the same spot? Just like the Damas neighborhood in Yaoundé, there are several other neighborhoods such as Lendi, Lokbesu and Pekatres in Douala that are equally risk zones and may one day record casualties.
And so that was it for the news. Thank you viewers for according us your time this evening. Stay with us on Equinoxe Television.
Equinoxe Télévision, au-delà de l'image, nous rendons compte.
If you suspect you may have a coronavirus infection, please call your healthcare provider in advance and let them know